We're still on the go, Jerry.
We need fucking new tires every 2 years, oil change every 6 months, and we'll fucking run forever, Tom.
It's just like that, isn't it? Like a good out fucking engine on a cement mixer or something. You don't even have to wash us that well. Like, just leave us out in the rain if you want. We'll still work once you keep a drop of fucking oil in us. And after that, we're off to the fucking races. And people are loving. We're turned pro, Jerry. We're putting out bonus episodes and genuine bonus episodes. We're not hiding them anywhere on anybody. We're giving them juicy stuff. Really what it was, people, is that Jerry had always vowed, because he's quite a megalomaniac. He only allowed the Tom and Jerry show to actually me to be on it because my name is Tom. He was definitely never going to allow anybody directly on the mothership. But if you're new to this and you jumped in at this point, lads, have a look. Have a look the last couple of weeks. We've had fucking guests on their own segment.
And it's a real fucking terms and conditions thing, Tom, because we keep the main podcast with no guests, just like my megalomaniacal brain wanted, but we created a whole entire separate episode to have guests on. Like, it's a real Good Friday agreement of a thing, you know what I mean? Like, did we get the job done? Yes. Is everybody 100% happy? No.
Yeah, I get you. It's like inviting the guests over but keeping them out in the shed. Yeah. I get you. I get you. But look, they're still on the property. They're still on the property. And
we are delighted to have them. And hey, that's a new thing that we can ask people to do. I'm not going to fucking launch into housekeeping, but guys, it's really simple. If there's anybody that you would like to hear on a Tom and Jerry bonus episode to hear about the worst gig ever, let us know in the comments. And it's very possible we won't be able to get any of them, but you never know. You never know. I would have never guessed that we would have gotten the caliber of guests that we've gotten so far, Tom.
I'm actually surprised by that. I genuinely thought that it was going to be dead in the water even when you mess. It was a great notion when you thought of it. And I thought, yeah, but you wait and you see how hard it is to get guests. I can tell you, Jerry,
people on, it
is difficult because people are like, but because they're short, sweet, very succinct, they're to the point. Have you a worst gig ever? And I like the variance of guests we're getting on. People are loving that. Like that, lads. Just keep it coming. Like Jerry said, give us some suggestions.
There you go.
Or if you've had a similar scenario to any of our guests or to anything you hear throughout the show, feel free to tell us all about it.
Yeah,
Jerry.
And I'll bother again, Tom. If you found a pound on the ground, let us know. Let us know anything. Just give us that. Give us a notification. Just tell us your fucking stories.
I found a 10 pence piece the other day from 1990.
Well, Tom, I found a 50 yen coin.
Tell me more. How did you have you been to China?
No, I found a 50 yen coin in the playground behind Clonsilla train station. Mm-hmm. And Tom, I gotta tell you, if you've never been in the playground behind Clonsilla train station, there are no vending machines there that accept yen.
Are you saying Triads or some shit was going down?
I don't know. Don't fucking know. But someone had a 50 yen coin, and I stress, they had a 50 yen coin. I fucking have it now. Did you ever see a 50 yen coin?
No. Have you got it there?
No, and I'll tell you what I've never seen, Tom. I've never seen any other yen coin bar a 50 yen coin. Here's me. Did you ever see a 50 yen coin? I don't know what a fucking I don't know what 1 yen looks like. I can tell you what a 50 yen coin looks like. It looks like a fucking little silver polo mint. It's got a hole in it, doesn't it?
Would you stop the lights? I think I have seen one. But does it not just have all Chinese writing on it? Like, how do you know it's a 50 yen coin? Like,
no, it has yen on it. I'll go into the house and get it. I put it on my keyring. It had a hole and it went in the keyring, so there you go.
You're not after getting it.
I'll tweet a picture of it. I'll stick it up on the Instagram for people that want to see a 50 yen coin.
You've got
fucking badly.
You have got you're actually after accidentally picking up, I don't know, some fucking key card to some downtown Triad fucking hangout.
Oh, do you think it's like a token for a locker and there's like a bag of money in it?
No, there's a whole bag of your fucking heads getting chopped off, and next thing I'm just doing the Tom and Tom show. Thanks very much for messing with the Triads. Jesus Christ.
When we're talking about money, Tom, and if anybody here is listening to us, has any money and would like to share it to us, give it to us. I'll tell you one thing about money. Do you remember when the euro came in?
Yeah.
All right. The €2 came in, and somebody figured out that there's a coin elsewhere in Europe, possibly Turkey. Don't know where it is, but it looks for all intents and purposes like a €2 coin, but it's there like fucking 10-cent coin or whatever. And you couldn't pass it off in a shop, but you could put it into like pool tables
and fag machines. You could,
and
because
Johnny machines. Yeah,
there was
you know the one.
There was an old. You remember the old penny? Now it was before our time. It was a big. It had like a big hen on or something.
Yes, yeah.
The first €2 coins and the old fag machines. You know the ones they were made of timber that have a veneer timber and drawers. They just about. They were a rudimentary enough old thing where they had the measurement of a coin inside it, but they didn't have the thickness. So you could throw, if you got any of those pennies, those old, I don't know, was it a penny or like what was something like a 2 and 6 or whatever the fuck they were called.
Threepenny bit, yeah.
A threepenny bit, exactly. And you could get those, and those would go into fag machines, and they actually had to change the size of the €2 coin and early doors, because we're like, we need to put some ridges or some shit on this. Because
we need to, put a fucking micrometer on it and just get it ever so slightly smaller so that there's fucking lads in the Midlands not getting 20-cent Johnnies.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Well, I'd say it was the cigarette companies probably stood up more than anything just for the air. What are all these fucking rusty things in the bottom of our fucking, in our profit jar?
And I'll tell you what's better again, Tom, when we are talking about Jimmy and machines out of things, there was always an off rumour of the playground and a rumour of the snooker hall that if you could go to an arcade machine if you wanted to play like fucking Battletoads or whatever the hell it was. There was like an electric lighter that would like light your gas ring. Okay, so you know your gas ring at home, the gas ring, and some of them like you click click click, and you put it to it and it would light it. But the click 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 is like basically a cigarette lighter. It would make a cigarette lighter flame. But there was other ones that would just generate a spark.
Yes.
And you put it to it. There was an oft rumour that if you stripped one of those down to the point where you could slide it down into the coin slot of the arcade machine, I mean, you just ring yourself up like a load of credits. It would just spark down there, and it would create an arc that would register as like a go on the game. The
level of specifics that would be needed for that to fucking happen. Like, as we sit here, like, both, even the realization is coming across your face as you're saying that to me, going,
that's bollocks. That's almost certainly bollocks.
Because they would definitely have...
But at the time, we were sure. It was like, oh yeah, like, we know so-and-so that went click, 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 and he got 100 credits on Mortal Kombat and played it for 2 days straight. You know? This shit, I can promise you, didn't happen. There was nobody going down the fucking pool hall in Carrick getting 100 free grows on fucking Lethal Enforcers. That shit wasn't happening.
No.
It's a good story.
It's a good story. Yeah, good story. The fact that it was so specific, and you got to get this type of lighter.
Yes, this type of lighter, click, 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 and you fucking... Who would think of such a thing? The physics of it, I guess, might
no, that came from cousins in America or cousins in England. Right. Before you knew it, I was circling back to the Chinese. By the way, this is not an episode in any way antagonizing the Triads or anything, but Chinese Whispers being what Chinese Whispers is.
Triads listen to the Tom and Jerry show too. You guys
fucking terrified. I've been watching Iron Fist, and now I'm convinced we're all going to get attacked by hatchets. So...
Not the hatchets again, Tom.
I can deal with a man with hatchets, but when the swords come out, I can't deal with swords.
I thought I was done with hatchet fighting. I'll put all that behind me.
You're very welcome to the Tom and Jerry show, lads. Jesus Christ.
Fuck it. Yeah, well, yeah. Lest we forget, hello, how is everybody doing? It's the Tom and Jerry show. You fucking said it yourself. How are you all keeping? And the regular show, not the bonus episodes, although you should listen to them too. Listen on to the end of the show if you want to hear who's on this week's bonus episode, by the way. We're going to fucking make you listen till the end, all right? And we're not even going to say when we're going to drop it, so that's sneaky. Holding you ransom for that information, but it's a good one. Tom, how are you keeping? I'm real good, and hello to all the listeners. Thank you very much for tuning in here, tuning in on Instagram and on Twitter, where you've been interacting with our wonderful posts, where we put up pictures about what we talk about, just so that you can see, look, we're not talking shit, this is a thing. And I'll put up a picture of that 50 yen coin. You can
I would
see that it's a 20 yen coin, and I'm talking
I wouldn't, Jerry, I wouldn't put it up on any social media whatsoever, but hey, on your head, or lack there be of your fucking head, may it be. I'm just saying, the Triads are coming after you.
You know what?
It's not a 50 yen coin, Jerry. That's a key code to someplace downtown. And I don't even know where downtown is, but it's downtown. Downtown Chinatown.
You know what, Tom? With the comfort, I'm just going to show it to them and swallow it and say, no, you can't fucking get it. It'd still take your head off, really. They'll probably get it handed never, wouldn't they? Haven't thought that one out, have I, Tom?
No, you haven't at all. Right, let's press on with the show, Jerry, because
I often said that, Tom. Sorry, before we go on, I often said that if I ever get mugged, and I hope I never get mugged, and I've Googled this, right? I hope I never get mugged, right? I have Googled this, Tom. Can you swallow your wedding ring and poop it out in a couple of days' time?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I would.
Why couldn't you, right?
Yeah.
I've Googled, is it safe to swallow a wedding ring and poop it out? And like, unless you like, my wedding ring is just like a wedding ring kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like nothing fancy schmancy. Like it's got no edges to it, Tom. It's not a diamond ring, for example.
Yeah.
It's not diamond encrusted sovereigns and shit like this. So
it's not a Super Bowl ring, like.
It's not a Super Bowl ring, right? So yeah, I could swallow that ring if I was getting mugged. So you picture me getting the shit kicked to me on the ground and like, come off the knuckle, you bastard.
Oh, they'll take your finger too, so don't worry. So I'm just saying, it's poking the fucking tiger. Great. That's great.
There you go.
Great.
There you go. Have you ever swallowed your wedding ring while being mugged? Let us know in the comments.
Why has this come up now? Now you've ruined everything we're talking about.
I'm gone, Tom. We better get on track, because you might have noticed, Tom, I'm in a fucking rambling mood, and if you let me ramble, I'll ramble for an hour straight, and you'll get nothing done this podcast. So you better introduce this first segment, Tom.
You look it has to be done. We started off in good form and all the rest of it, but this is not. It wouldn't be the Tom and Jerry show without kicking off, as we always do, with giving out yards, Jerry.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
Even when we don't give out yards, Tom, we venture into giving out yards. I mean, that right there was a perfect example. That was a story that started off with me finding money and ended up with me swallowing my wedding ring while getting mugged.
There you go.
Water rolls downhill, Tom. What can I tell you?
We're only ever 2 stages away from death in every story we talk about. That's really it. That's really it. We're only ever 2 stages away from death.
Well, Tom, you're giving out yards this week. What are you giving out about, buddy?
This is the thing. I'm getting better with my temper. Honestly, I spoke to a person recently that I knew from back in the day when I worked in construction years and years ago, and he was like, he actually pointed it out, and he wouldn't be the sort of fellow that would point out, "Geez, you're a different man. You're relaxed. You're not as furious." It's nice to still have my moments. That's okay. That's okay to have your moments. So I'm finding nitpicky. I'm getting better at controlling myself. I can try and appreciate things that possibly would have made me fucking furious, but there's things creeping up my fucking back of lately. And I know I shouldn't be this petty, but I'm always interested in a good, and I talked about the things you wouldn't think I like interiors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do like watching a good show about, a home makeover or whatever. I love a good car restoration show. Who doesn't? I mean, you surely love a good car restoration, do you?
I love a good restoration video on YouTube, Tom. I like to see like an old fucking World War II helmet getting brought back to its former glory.
Oh,
depending on which side the helmet was on, for it to be known.
Hey, listen, they're both craftsmanship regardless. Do you know what I mean? They're both going to be good quality stuff. I love all that shit. I love it.
Not hearing much given out here, Tom.
No. But what's ruined everything, and I'm blaming things like X Factor and stuff. It's like a producer, every fella that goes to production school now won't be happy until some cunt balls crying. It's like, are we, how far, where are we at the cry mark, guys? Where are we at the cry mark? Have we gotten anybody to cry yet? Have we ram that camera so far into her face? I don't care if we're here a fucking week with tiredness and delusion. She starts fucking crying or he starts fucking crying. I mean, yes, Americans, God bless you, but your bladder's to be very close to your fucking eyes. Like, no doubt. You'll stop crying at the fucking drop of a hat. But now they're getting it out of fucking Irish people and stuff. And, British people you see on shows, and it's like all of a sudden fucking Sarah McLaughlin's feel of this fucking gold kicks in. It's like, oh well, here we go. You just got some new cushions. Relax, Teresa. There's no need.
Crying in reality TV shows, Tom, which is what I'm going to title this particular section to Giving Out Yards, and we fucking notebook here. Crying in reality TV shows, I will say, has ramped up.
It's gone fucking. It's a whole segment of the show now. And let's just go over to Mary. She's got the crying ready there. Go, Mary. Off you go.
Yeah. And it's one thing, I will say, it's one thing in a singing competition or talent show if you come to it and you've been your story is that you were bullied at school and
Oh,
you
they
never
all
wanted
have
to
been
fucking
fucking
sing.
bullied, like, Jesus.
And like your gran just died, and now you're here singing your heart out to make everyone proud. I'll allow you a tear in season 1. All right.
Yeah.
But when the wheel out the same person with the same story over and over again, and
Yeah.
it gets to be once people start to pick up on it and make fun of it and say like, oh, like here's so and so such a singer, is his gran after dying? Who's after dying? Did his aunt die? Did his fucking mom die? What was it? You know, once you start, so blatantly taking the piss of it, that's when you know you've overused something. But are you telling me now, Tom, that outside of talent shows, outside of the fucking Viva Las Vegas show on TG4 or whatever that was, are you saying outside of your X Factor, outside of all that, you're telling me that in fucking car restoration shows people are crying here?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's what's breaking my bollocks. I could take it that it was in the X Factor because I was never going to watch that anyway. Like the first season, once it goes from the Mad Bastards out of the X Factor, I don't want to know somebody who's actually good looking and talented.
Once you go by people,
I want to see somebody with teeth growing out the back of their head. You know what I mean, shouting and wanting to fucking murder Simon Cowell. I want to see that. That's the entertainment of it for me. But I get the ball and thinking, as you said, Jesus Christ, it's like they drummed this story out of people. But then all of a sudden it's rolled now into everything, and you just see the camera punching in at the last second, and they can never let it off.
And the piano music comes in.
They can never let it off. You're like, for the love of... And I'm wondering, is it making people softer? Do you know what I mean? Does it seem acceptable now to just fucking wail like a baby in the middle of fucking a public space? Yeah, you're getting some cool shit. But crying shouldn't be. Do you remember Pimp My Ride when somebody would do it? Nobody was crying in Pimp My Ride. Yes, they were jumping all over the place. Yes, you did get a fridge freezer put into the boot of your Honda Civic. Granted, Exhibit was even looking going, I don't know what we're doing with it. Yes, but nobody was bawling, roared and fucking crying. Now, all of a sudden, people are getting stuff done up and it's straight to... and the music plays and all of the producers are high-fiving each other going, this is it. This is the cum shot. This is the money shot right here. Everything after this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Get the crying.
Yes, we'll get a talking heads with him at the end, standing out in the garden, how delighted with it. But truth be told, the real money shot, the payoff, is when they're fucking sobbing like fucking geese walking around the fucking house, blathering and blubbering. Fucking, like cooking shows now. Cooking shows.
I was just about to say, like, we watch Great British Bake Off around here, and they cry. They cry all the fucking time.
It's ruined. That's why I can't watch it. I can't watch it anymore. At least now I can't. Is Mary Berry still, or who's hosting it day one?
Day one was Mel and Sue, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Once it left the girls, I'd want to know. I'd want to know once it left the girls.
Here's the thing, right? I heard a story, whether it's true or not. Well, I mean, it was from contestants, so we'll take it that it was true. That in early doors Bake Off with Mel and Sue there, if your flan came out all runny and you were ruined and you were about to get kicked off or something like that, and you broke down crying in the kitchen, like the cameras would be straight over to you like a shark.
Of course.
But if Mel and Sue were to see you do that, break down and cry, they would go over to you. You like this, Tom? They would go over to you and start using the worst language they could conjure up and calling the cake only an old bollocks and a cunt and fuck that thing, because then the footage you couldn't use it.
Beautiful.
You couldn't use it.
That's
on TV.
why.
You know what I'm saying?
Didn't I just say that at the top? Once they were gone, I don't give Noel Fielding is grand. I think he's kind of stealing a living, but
Our Robin living.
Yeah,
but there's an awful now you're over on the Channel 4, and all of a sudden there's people crying all day every day when they're
Channel 4 is gone to fuck for balling. Everybody's fucking sopping and balling and every fucking thing. Like it's and it was a bit like the Bake Off gone for me. Can't watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, Tom, I don't. Hey, look. I'm not a robot. I'm not an emotionless person, but I guess we got to fucking make a list of this, right? Okay? You're allowed to cry. You're going to cry all day, every day, Tom. I'll tell you, great stress reliever. Highly recommended if you're on the fence. You're on your TV, okay? I don't want to see people bawling crying on fucking Naked Ambition, all right? You know what I mean? I don't need to see... You know what I mean? I don't need to see people bawling and crying. Not getting 10 grand for a baseball card because it was your dream on Pawn Stars isn't a fucking reason to break down and cry on TV.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's a time and a place for crying. Don't be wasting the cries, because all of a sudden the impact of a good cry is fucking gone out the window. Don't be fucking bawling. And I'm not saying, I'm just worried more than anything, because I cannot watch these shows, and that's fine. Just don't look at it.
Easiest thing in the world.
I get that, but I'm worrying because when I see the likes of fucking things coming in over the hill, I did a radio show with a chap today, and he was telling me how he watches the Line of Duty through Gogglebox. I'm like, what? That is so many levels of shit that I don't even want to know about, because Gogglebox should be fucking banned to anybody who's ever talk about a slap in the face to anybody who's ever written a thing ever to be produced ever. Now you're going to watch people fucking watching a show.
I got to tell you, Tom, I don't mind. I know a lot of people like Gogglebox, and I wish them well. But anytime I've watched it, and it's supposedly just real people just really watching TV, and nothing
it's fucking not. Everything is conceited, Jerry.
And when the fucking the theme song for whatever comes on that they're playing, and they sing along to it on the sofa, like when you and your missus ever fucking sit down and sing the theme song to friends when it comes on, that fucking boils my piss, Tom. Yeah, I can't be doing with that.
So that's has anybody ever cried in Gogglebox? No doubt they probably have. You know, who cried watching the fucking you know what I mean? Who the fuck cries watching the telly, knowing that there's a camera there as well? Because I guarantee you, the producer's going, there's now a fucking tear there. We'll play it a couple of times and zoom in as well. You'll get some extra fucking time. In fact, but what I'm saying is, it might be worth an extra fucking 500 quid to you. Give us a cry. Give us a cry there.
And like, you know, okay, if you're on Gogglebox and the show that you're watching is fucking one born every minute, and like, you know, it's very tearful and all that, yeah, we'll let you fucking shed a tear. But like, yeah, you know, if you're watching American Pickers, no, there's no, let's not cry here. No.
Even things like
what did he find? He found like a Texaco sign in some lad's barn, and the bottom of it was rusted, and everybody started bawling crying. No,
listen, I watched a great fucking cooking program. It was the Great American fucking Barbecue Showdown. Amazing levels of barbecue.
I know the one, yes.
And thanks for the fuck, they cleared out this one big old lump of a fella. Nice fella, but he was sopping at every fucking hand's turn. I was like, great, he's gone. He's out. Nobody else crying. Everybody else was fucking hard bastards. Owl ones, owl fellas, fucking hardy youngsters. Everybody was there to cook, high five and grand. Yes, it was a bit over the top in the way of the happiness levels, which I can grant. These people were buzzing because they were up all fucking night and day. And then they bring your man back for the finale, the fellow who'd been fucked out 4 episodes previous, who was maudlin and bawling all over the fucking place. They bring him back. They could have brought back any of the characters that had been, voted off earlier in the show. But they bring this cunt back, and there, of course, he's fucking bawling again, talking about we know you got a dead friend. You fucking mentioned it 50 times. You're still shit at cooking. You know what I mean? In comparison to these other people, get the fuck out of my.
I get that. Like he got his slot on. There are people that will get their slot on TV shows if their backstory makes for good TV, not necessarily if they're good at what they do.
I get you.
That register.
Yeah, I get you. But when he's gone, he's gone. Don't take the fucking piss out of us. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Tom. There's times and places, like, you know, if you wanna, if you're doing like fucking Great British Bake Off and you've got an emotional story to tell and you never baked before in your life and this was your lifelong dream or whatever the fuck it is, okay, maybe.
Oh,
maybe if you get Star Baker, yeah, maybe. But if you're on fucking Nailed It on Netflix and the premise of the show is we need you to make the shittest cake ever, so you put it out in front of us and we laugh our balls off at it. And then in the middle of all that, you tell a story about how you got cut from the track team when you were a teenager and all you've done was fucking eat cake since. Don't want to hear it, Tom.
All I know is that I never saw anybody crying on Scrap Heap Challenge. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
I never seen Fred Dina cry, and a chimney fell on that man.
Fred Dibnah is possibly, go watch Fred Dibnah. That's a man that he climbs with no harnesses. Well, he climbed and a fag sticking out the corner of his mouth. That man TV died when Fred Dibnah fucking died. Simple as that.
There's YouTube clips. I might actually throw you up a link of it.
Oh, it's amazing.
I gotta start taking notes. You see the one where he knocks down a fucking chimney stack with a lump hammer? I'm making a note. I'm so happy we're introducing our listeners to Fred Dibnah. Dibnah spelled Dibnah. I've watched. Listen, I always call him Dibnah because I'm a posh cunt.
Oh, fair enough. And Fred Dibnah is not a posh cunt. No, he's from up north, and he was a steeplejack as well as everything. He was kind of an everything. but just one of the greatest people that has ever done it in the game. And not one fucker balled in any show. And Fred Dibnall went fucking deep and hard on someone. He almost died several times on the show.
I'll tell you what we used to cry at, Tom. I'll tell you what used to be where tears would be on TV, okay? I'm going to take you back to the 80s. Nobody ever... This is all a new thing. People bawling and rolling around the place crying, okay? And again, you know, if you want to have a fucking cry, knock yourself out. But, like, as Tom has said...
Don't be doing it for money. Don't be doing it for money.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one time we would cry watching TV was there used to be a show called Cilla Black's Surprise Surprise.
Yes.
You know the one?
All right. Yeah.
Cilla Black's Surprise Surprise was of a Saturday night, and Cilla Black would do nice things for people and surprise them. And like a good example of what she would do would be that she would go and find your fucking long-lost sister that lives in Australia that you haven't seen for 40 years and shit like this. And guess what, Chuck? She's fucking behind the screen. And she'd pop out and she'd hug her mom that she hasn't seen in 40 years or whatever the fuck it was. And everyone on that TV show would bawl. Scylla would hold it together because she was a fucking rock of a woman.
You are not gonna. The hard life she's coming from Liverpool. She doesn't have tear ducts. I'm telling you.
She was a fucking sphinx. Like she just... Yeah. Nothing was getting out of Scylla. Everybody else was bawling, crying on it. And if you were at home, you might be inclined to fucking roll a tear yourself. Like that was proper emotional TV. Well done, all that kind of crack. These days, it's just like as you say yourself. Every 2 minutes, it's like, all right, has nobody cried yet? Okay, let's get it done.
They've ruined the good cry. Don't take me wrong here. Good old
they've devalued the cry.
Devalued the cry. That's my fucking issue, and that's what I'm giving out yards about. Is that they've absolutely. Tis rolled now to fag paper thin. If a good cry was the thickness of a brick, tis fucking down to fag paper thin now. That's what they've done to it. They've fucking spread it over like too little butter over too much fucking toast, you cunts and producers. Crying is not the way to fucking people's actual fucking interest, unless you're a soppy bastard yourself. And if you are, I wouldn't be listening to this podcast any further if I were you. I'm just saying, I'm fairly vexed over this. Jerry, take this a fucking away from me. That was my giving out yards.
Yards subsequently given out, Tom. Well done.
Be gone.
You know, I got quite emotional in the middle of it there, Tom. I held it together, though.
Fucking balling all over the fucking microphone. How ironic would it be if you were crying going, Jesus, Tom.
Like, I really wanted a cooked brisket, Tom. But anyway, yeah, what the hell? Let's keep the show rolling along, folks. God damn it. How are you all keeping? I hope your week's going well. Myself and Tom here, don't you know? We're stand-up comedians by trade. We're seeing that less and less these days, Tom. I wonder what could be keeping us away from the stand-up comedy these days.
I wonder.
Regardless of that, we do like comedy. We like other things as well. We like a whole pile of shit, okay? Not crying on TV, that's for damn sure. We like other things. And every now and then, Tom, could be something that we like that, you know, you wouldn't have thought we'd like.
Exactly. We've learned things about each other down through the. We've done this another season.
I have a funny feeling, Tom. This next one's going to be make or break for the Tom and Jerry show.
Do you think so?
When I roll out the thing that you didn't think I'd like on a segment we call "You Wouldn't Think We'd Like That."
This. Oh, we like goblins, bats, and fishes, but we hasn't tried horses before.
Right. Yeah, Jesus. Because I will tell you now, I have.
This one will test you, Tom.
We have ordered the bags, the marinating bags, and I will give full documentation as to the marinating bags for the feet.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. I did that, and like you know, I've lost all concept of time with recordings and things like this.
Did you do it recently? Did you send me on the?
I did it recently, but by the time people hear this, I'll have done it a month ago.
Yeah, we need.
And my feet might have fucking rotted off my legs. You know,
well, your feet are probably in decent condition because you've done it in relative recent times. Yeah, I've never ever treated my feet in any way like hooves.
No, I want to see your feet just get flipped like the rapper.
Oh, I love it! I can't wait. Now, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, Tom. This one will test you.
Come on.
This one will test you. Because this is not only is this a thing that you wouldn't think I like.
Jesus Christ.
It's a thing that I didn't think I liked up until like lately, and I was like, God, I really like this.
Did you know what? My brain just went in so many directions there. I went, wow, Jerry, I fucking wow.
What do you know?
Wow.
That doesn't fucking sting like I thought it would.
I see what all the hype is now. Yeah, okay, all right.
You fucking get used to it.
Yeah, you cool with this? Because I'm cool with this. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, cool.
I'm a fucking lay this on you, Tom. Okay, yeah. Feel free just to cut the link straight away. If you're like, no, McBride, not having it, and just fucking hit whatever. Here's the thing I really like, Tom.
Fun.
I really like health and safety.
Right. Look, good night. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. I'm just going to rip down my green screen. Why? What? Fuck off. Like,
I have grown to appreciate, like, and frequently practice good health and safety practice.
have you become some sort of weird nerd? Are you sadistic? Are you trying to ruin our fucking friendship here? What's wrong with you?
I gotta walk people through this. Like, people that may not be all that familiar with the concept of health and safety could say, wait, he likes health and safety. Why would you not like health and safety?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
surely
sure.
they're good. Hey, everybody loves health. Given
Yeah.
the choice between bad health and good health, Tom, which would you pick? You'd pick good health. And everybody loves safe. Everybody loves
Sometimes
safety,
the
right?
road to good, bad health, Jerry, is a lot of fun. That's all I'm saying.
Well, like I say, everybody likes health and everybody likes safety. There's nobody there that says, God, I really wish I was walking the fucking razor-thin margins on the edge of danger at all times.
Sometimes
What
you
I'm
gotta
talking
feel
about-
alive, Jerry. Just come on.
I gotta tell you, here's what I'm talking about when it comes to health and safety. I'm talking about, as me and Tom would have known it all our lives, old-fashioned building site health and safety. Bend your knees, shoulders back,
Yeah,
the whole works, okay?
yeah, yeah.
I always thought health and safety was a load of bollocks. When I was a younger man, a load of bollocks. You know what? I need to lift that box. I need to lift that bag of cement. I need to lift that block. I need to lift all that. And I'll just fucking lock my knees straight, hoop myself over like a lowercase n, and grab a 50-kilo bag of cement off the ground
Yes.
and lift it up, engaging every bone in my spine along the way.
Exactly. Bring them all in for the party. What other way would you do it?
Well, the other way you do it, Tom, is like, I don't know if anybody's listening to this has ever been in a job where manual handling was involved, and sometimes not even manual handling.
Hey, you know what? If you need to be told how to fucking manually handle a thing, you're
Well,
done.
this is it. This is the thing. I've been on fucking easily a dozen health and safety courses, and I fucking hated every single one of them because it felt to me like pure fucking hand-holding bureaucracy stupidity. Like, oh, if something's too heavy, get help, and they will help you carry it to avoid risk of injury to yourself or others. And I'm like, I don't need someone else to help me carry that. I'm just going to throw it up on my shoulder with the weight distributed at the most awkward fucking angle down through my spine and just wing it.
Yeah.
Grip it and rip it, Tom. Just fucking go for it, right?
Yep.
But in the last while, I have realized the error of my ways.
What?
You know what? You know what, Tom? You get a couple of decent back injuries.
Okay.
And you realize that, okay, you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do it. Maybe that guy that was getting paid €600 an hour that was brought round to the job 10 years ago to sit us down and give us a fucking manual handling course in a suit, maybe he was onto something.
Well, where did this realization come from? Damascus. Where did this happen? Where
I
was...
know. I honestly, it is. It's that I'm doing it's that I'm doing a whole pile more jobs myself around the house.
Right.
Do a lot of DIY jobs. Pretty much do everything myself. And I don't want to feel shit afterwards. And I appreciate that the fucking, I got kids now, Tom. You know what I mean? And you got to pick them up right, and you got to play with them, and you got to do all those kind of things.
What
And you don't
level of
wanna be
work
like
are you
fucking-
doing that will have you fucked up after?
Well, here's the thing.
Come on.
Here's the thing, Tom. Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing, right? I'll tell you the first time that I started realizing that I had to take care of myself was when the little girl was born. Up until she was like 1 or 2, we had her in the cot, as you would do, right?
Yeah.
Little man came along like 3 years before that. Wasn't such an issue. I was a younger, more ignorant man, some would say. Some would say, all would say, Tom. And here's the funny thing. When the wee man was there, that's when I was being taught health and safety at work. Okay, and I was always like, "This is bollocks," because the health and safety courses that you have at work, Tom, they're like a penance of a thing. You go in for the whole fucking day,
Oh Jesus, yeah.
and it's like you and the forklift driver and like two other lads that you don't speak to, and like everybody's just there like, "When's this fucking thing going to
nodding off several times throughout the day,
nodding off?" And this guy comes in a suit and is like, "Hey everybody, so imagine this box is heavy. Now can I see you lift?" And you have to go over and fucking pretend to lift a cardboard box. And I know why they do all that, Tom. I know why they do all that. It's very simple. Like, you know, once you see through the veil of it all, it's like, oh, okay, I guess. They're not teaching you how to fucking lift a box, Tom. They just need to have it on paper that they showed you how to lift a box.
Yeah.
If you fucking injure yourself on the job, you injure yourself on site, you injure yourself on whatever, you can't turn around and go like, I'm suing you because my back's fucked because I didn't know how to lift a box. They can turn around and go, no, dipshit, we sent you on a course where you lifted a box and you filled out a questionnaire and you signed that you understood everything. So go fuck yourself. You can't sue us. I understand all that, right?
Yeah.
But it was that I was being told to do it that I was like, go fuck yourself. But after I left that line of work and the wee girl was born, and now I'm at home and she's in the cot, right? And she's in the high-sided cot on the low setting of the cot. So in order to lift her out of the cot, I have to literally get on my tippy toes because I'm not tall and go over the cot like a reverse limbo sort of a thing.
I'm with you. Yeah, because I'm in the same boat myself.
Reverse limbo. Yeah. And you have to bend all the way down, and you can't bend your knees because the bar of the cot's there. You can't do it. You go all the way down and pick up the kid and lift them up, engaging every bit of your spine. And I did that for like 6 months, a year, when the wee girl was that small that she was in the cot, and it fucked up my back, Tom. Genuinely fucked up my back because every day you went to do it, she was getting heavier. She was getting to be a bigger girl. You know, that's the thing with babies; they'll fucking grow. What can you do?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You know, and they just keep getting heavier, and that bar, that cot, you have to reverse limbo over it and get it. So my back was sore and sore and sore. So once we got her out of the cot, I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again. I'm never making a hoop of me back again. And that's when I started. Okay, when she was about 2.
Oh, wearing hard hats around the fucking house.
I was like a fucking 37-year-old man. It took me to realize, you know what, this crack of bending at the knees, it's got merit. There's something to this.
All right, fair enough. I'll give you the bending of the.
All right, so you give me that.
Fair enough. All right, I will. I'll give you that.
You give me that. Okay, you give me that. Okay. Another thing I've got to tell you is, Tom, eyes. How many do you get in a life? 2.
Yeah, grand. I've had a few operations on my eyes. What are you going to fucking tell me that I haven't already heard?
I told you back last season, I beg your pardon, in a segment called "What Ails You" about my issues with styes in my eyes. Don't you know?
Correct.
And we drilled down and we realized, where do you get styes in your eyes, Tom? You get it from dirt, okay?
Yeah.
And I've had a sty in the past couple of weeks, Tom.
You have not, have you?
Yes, it is. I got a new power washer. You can see it over your shoulder.
I can.
There, Tom.
Lovely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Old painless, right? I have that new power washer. I went out with no goggles on and I power washed everything in front of me. Because in my fucking thick-ass mind, what harm was it? It's water, right? You get a bit of water in your eyes, what of it was, right? But think about what you're doing when you're power washing, Tom. You're literally creating aerosolized dirt. You're just walking around in a cloud of fucking dust and dirt like little fucking Pigpen and Charlie Brown. And it all went into my eyes, and I got a fucking eye infection out of it. And I'm done with it. So now when I power wash my car every Saturday evening, do you know what I do? I fucking wear goggles, Sham.
Bet you wear a fucking jumpsuit as well. I spent fucking 6 years in a pig farm power washing every day. Pig shit into my eyes didn't do me a fucking bit of harm. What are you telling me? What are you telling me here? Why should I
gotta tell you, I don't wear a jumpsuit, but you know what I'm doing? You're gonna fucking love this, Tom. This is gonna shut the Zoom down, right?
Go on.
Anytime I do any work about the house, all right, I got like a uniform, so to speak. Okay, you got your work clothes.
Yeah.
You got your paint splattered Snickers trousers, and you got your fucking. They're never clean because you'll never wash paint off them. I keep them out in the shed. I got like my work trousers. I got like my fucking, it's a scummy L hoodie. Who cares if it gets all tore up or whatever like that? And I got a pair of steel toe cap boots. And the steel toe cap boots, okay, you know, you're gonna
for around the house, because Lord knows those toddlers are just
for work
vicious.
around the house. For if I'm doing work around the house, Tom, if I'm console or anything like that, angle grinding, right? Doing angle grind from hanging shelves, you're gonna fucking love this, Tom. If I'm hanging shelves around the house, I put on a high vis vest.
No, you fucking do not. You're taking the piss. McBride. There's no way. Yeah, we all have a high-vis vest, Jerry. But what the fuck are you doing putting it on inside the house? What are you expecting to fucking hit you?
Feels right, Tom. Feels right.
Why are you putting on a sports bra?
Feels right.
Jesus
Feels
Christ
right, Tom.
almighty.
Feels right. Number one, I started putting it on because I was just like, this feels like I'm doing work. This feels like a uniform. You know what I mean? You wear a suit to a wedding. But then I was like, no, I'm like, to me, I'm like, if the kids see me with that on, they know Daddy's doing work, so they know not to come near him, right? You know what I mean? Like, don't fuck with Daddy. He's busy. All right? There's something's moving. So I'm wearing a high vis vest, and it's like a signal to everybody else that work is going on here. This is a less than safe environment. And whereas I'm taking measures to protect myself, you need to back the fuck away.
McBride, you are on a slippery fucking slope of...
Oh, you want to talk about it? You want to talk about a slippery slope? Let's talk about slippery slopes. Let's talk about actual slippery slopes.
Now, do you?
I don't have a sign, but I'm going to tell you the difference between me now and me 5 years ago, Tom. I had occasion to hang a thing outside, okay?
Right.
I had a ladder. I had to go up that ladder, and it's a step ladder. It's not like an extendable ladder. It's just like a step ladder that you would fucking go up to your attic with.
Grand job.
And that's why I have the ladder to get up and down the attic. Won't pay for a stair, don't you know?
Good man.
I had occasion to take that ladder outside, and I was putting up pot plants and shit like this, and one of them was up quite high. And I could not find a stable surface for that ladder to stand on that I was comfortable with. So I did not do that job.
When did this fucking happen?
Not even days ago, hours ago, Tom. I was like,
this is the point.
I was like, Tom, I was like, it's been raining. The ground is less than stable. It's been raining. The ground is soft. I can feel the legs of the ladder sinking into it. And I am not going to risk going up that ladder with a drill in my hand to fucking screw in a flower bracket to hang a basket. I'm going to wait until a drier day when the ground is more steady. And that's when I'm going to do it. Because I value my health and safety.
Do you want to know what I did over the weekend? I backed my Land Rover up to a tree that I wanted to fell, tied a fucking rope onto the top of it as high up as I could get on my tippy toes. Because tied it on, jumped down, Jerry. Didn't get a fucking teleporter or a fucking cherry picker to bring me down. Tied it onto the fucking hitch of the Jeep, pulled it out as hard as I could, and put the saw to the base of it. Do you know what happened? Sprung right out. We all got logs for the fucking winter. Nobody fucking cried or died. What are you dealing with here? You've gone up a fucking ladder that's a little unsteady. The fact that job is not fucking finished, McBride, you need to fucking look deep inside your soul right now. How are we still friends?
That job will get finished, Tom.
But you're going to bring in a man to do it, are you?
No, I'm not going to bring in a man. I'm going to wait. I just fucking told you. I will wait until it's dry and it hasn't been raining and the ground is steady and the ladder won't fall over.
You know what you're saying.
You learn nothing, Tom Mahoney. Last season, you said in an episode of What Ails You that you had to go to a fucking bone setter because you jumped down off a platform and it fucking put your spine together.
Yeah, and I'll go to that man again if he's dead.
Well, you said that. You said you did that when you were a fucking teenager working in a pig farm, and now you're a grown ass man with a kid and you're jumping off the back of a fucking ute.
There you go. You've
learned nothing.
No, I'll tell you what I've learned, Jerry. I'll tell you, I learned I ate a pussy. That's what I'm saying, Jerry. Just what I'm saying. This is a first for the Tom and Jerry show. We have had a major falling out.
Tom, do you know what I'll tell you? Another bit of health and safety that I'll do. All right.
Go on.
Tell you another bit of health and safety. You're gonna like this, okay? I had occasion to angle grind.
Yeah, love an angle grind.
I had occasion to angle grind. I was angle grinding a metal pole.
Right.
All right. And I got my angle grinder. And I got my goggles, and I got my fucking gloves, and I got my whole fucking gear on. I got my high-vis vest in case like a fucking something springs out of nowhere, right? Then I realized that I only had a stone disc, not a metal disc. So I put all that away
and left the pole there
until I went to the shop and bought a metal disc. Rather than saying, fuck it, or what of it, and just grinding the shit out of it.
Jesus Christ
I
almighty.
put it all away. I had it all out. I had the extension lead out and everything. I had the fucking glasses on and I was like, oh, no, wait, that's a stone disc. No, that's not for use on metal, so okay. And anybody listening, you would have got the job done.
Yeah, you would have gotten the job done.
The disc might have fucking shattered and went everywhere, but it probably wouldn't. But do you want to take that fucking chance?
Yeah.
Do you want to be the one fucking dipshit in A&E with a bit of an angle grinder disc stuck in his face?
Yeah.
Saying, what happened here?
The other possibility is that you get the job done, you drink a beer, kiss your wife, and all of a sudden you're the man of the house again. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Jerry, what are you doing? These backward steps you're taking at the moment.
Tom, it's not backward steps. I tell you, I like doing these jobs. I want to stay fit and healthy to do more of them. And it turns out, I'll tell you one thing for the health and safety guy that came around. Every health and safety, Tom, you've been at a few health and safety things, I'd say, in your time.
I have.
Do you ever notice that the guy that came around to give the health and safety speeches, the guy that gave the little seminars and all that kind of thing, do you ever notice that he was the most unfortunate man you ever met in your life?
Oh, phenomenal! There was a guy. He was our health and safety. He was the full-time safety officer on a big site I was on, and the guy had scars and fucking injury stories from. You're going, motherfucker! I wouldn't.
Yeah, I can see why you went into this line of work. Every guy I went to knew a guy. It was like, well, before you think about lifting that box the wrong way, not the way I'm going to teach you, I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine who was a guy, 2 kids, in his 40s, played golf, loved life, and one day lifted a box the wrong way, and disc popped out of his back, couldn't lift his kids, couldn't play golf, put on a whole pile of weight, feels fucking terrible all day, every day. And I was like, fuck. That's amazing, because just an hour ago you told me about some other pal of yours who played tennis and had 3 kids. And something terrible happened to him as well. You're the fucking common denominator, pal, here. You're a fucking lone bush walking around the place. It's not safe to know you.
I'll concede. I'm yanking your chain a little bit. All right. Certain things I haven't learned. I will not do that ladder thing you're talking about. It's getting fucking done. If I
will you wear goggles when you're drilling things, Tom?
Yes, and only in relative recent times. Possibly that Sty story about you. I will.
And only in recent times with me as well, though. You know what I used to do if I was drilling something and I didn't have goggles?
You squint and you look away slightly.
You squint?
Yeah. Look at the size of my eyes, Jerry. These are my actual eyes. Like as you see them, they look like 2 slits in a fucking piss holes in the snow. I get away with a lot of dust hitting my face and not actually getting in my eye.
Yeah, I don't. I've got these big fucking Japanese manga eyes here, like these fucking cartoon eyes that are fucking big Sailor Moon eyes. Great.
Now that earlier in the show we drew the fucking Triads down us. Now we're going after fucking samurais. Great. Thank you very much, Jerry. Sorry to our Eastern listeners, but I do. I was using the skill sets today and a bit of. We talked about the excitement of a fine bit of fucking plywood, but fine bit of plywood or not, she's still a spitty little bastard. And even for a new blade on the saw, and I was 3 seconds in, and even the old man was like, "I'd wear fucking goggles if I were you." I'm like, goggles, "Oh yeah, yeah." And even if the old lad, who I have seen shoot down a tree with a gun before. Even if he says put goggles on, you're going, fuck, maybe goggles are the way forward, lads. Just say it. I mean,
Tom, I've been that soldier. I've been up a tree with a chainsaw. I've been up a tree with a chainsaw cutting bits of that tree down.
Yeah.
While I was in it.
Yeah.
I've been that guy. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be that guy no more.
Changed man, Jerry. I mean,
I'm a changed man. I'm in it for the fucking distance here, Tom.
I mean, I guess I can grow to understand it. I mean, just take it slowly on me. I'm not used to this. It's
used to it. Okay. I promise you this. Okay, every now and then I will do something that's absolutely fucking pig ignorant.
Are there special bars that you guys go to hang out and stuff? Because I want to understand. What you do. I just don't want to say the wrong thing.
We don't hang out of anything, Tom. We stand on a secure surface wearing proper safety harnesses. We don't hang out of anything, man.
Whatever floats your boat. So just as long as I don't have to watch it, Jerry. That's all I'm saying. Just take your time on me. I'm open to these things, but I'm just not ready.
Honestly, you see the fucking see the power washer there, old painless there, Tom. Like when I got that first, I was like, a bit of me goes, I'll climb up on the roof and power hose the tiles.
Lovely.
And another part of me goes, no, you'll not do that. You won't do that. You don't have a fucking roof and ladder that does that. Well, you're going to go up and fucking power hose the tiles while you're standing on them? Like the fucking, like what you're standing on isn't, precipitous enough. Now you're gonna make it wet. Come on now.
You would have had clean tiles.
I'll tell you what else to do while I'm getting it all out, right? I only paint in a well-ventilated area.
It's like you're fucking. It's like you don't even want to get the job done. Honestly, it's just. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, like I said, I'll try to understand it. I don't. Fuck, yeah, I don't. Fuck. Jesus Christ Almighty! That's a lot to unpack.
There you go.
That's a lot. Just,
like that.
You came at me with a lot there. Wow, I would not have thought that. Fuck, wow.
Tom, guys, wow. I know podcasts are not a visual medium, but Tom genuinely looks like he's in need of a drink right now.
Yeah, that's a lot, but me and your mother still love you. It's
yeah. Well, Tom, let me tell you this much. If you were in need of a drink right now, would you drink a little or would you drink a lot?
Oh, these days just a little. I can't.
Just a little.
Yeah, I just can't.
What about that's these days, Tom? What about the days gone by?
Oh, the yesteryear. Oh, I was a fucking animal, and I think people so far listening to my stories that have gone by. I think nobody's going. If you listen to episode 1 and 3 so far, you haven't gone, really, Tom? I didn't think you were much of a drinker back in the day. I was quite a drinker.
People are listening to my stories going like, oh yeah, that's all right. I can relate to that. That happened to me. And they're listening to your stories going, what the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I know.
I think it's a time for another one of those drinking stories, Tom, in a segment we call The Drunkest I've Ever Been.
I'm afraid that I was very, very drunk.
Oh, yes. Yes, there's always a few. And you know what? The irony of being the drunkest you've ever been is that you can never remember a class story from it. So, I mean, one will turn into the other because, I was out, I got drunk, I can't remember. Goodbye. And it's
that's why fucking witnesses are a great thing, Tom.
Yeah.
Much as you don't think it at the time.
And the reason why I'm going to go, now don't worry, all of these won't be all from foreign trips, but, this one is a foreign trip. Now, it's because there was other people to verify places of note. It wasn't just the same pub every night, which you would never remember unless something drastic. Because this is and there was places of note that you will remember, and it was back.
Also, like you know what? Let's hear the story, Tom, and then we'll dig into the science of drinking abroad because I've got a couple of theories.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, there definitely is something. Now, this is the height of it. This is the height of my powers. I was fucking good. I was fucking good. Like when it came to, but this was manna from heaven. This is beautiful. This setup. We're in Florence in Italy. I don't know if you've been to Florence. Beautiful city.
I haven't, but I've been to Italy, so I get the gist.
Yeah, pasta. They speak Italian.
Yeah,
it's a lovely spot. Lovely spot. Wouldn't be like flat out tourism sort of place, but a fine city,
Yeah, I mean, going by your last two stories, like the first one was in Amsterdam, which is lads, and the second was in Las Vegas, which is lads. And I could see how a man would get the drunkest he's ever been in both these places. So very curious how you got to be the drunkest you ever been in fucking Florence, Italy, Tom.
Well, here we are. It never let it be said that I wouldn't pull hard into a situation. It was during the summertime. My sister was getting married in Florence.
Gotcha.
The way they'd marketed to the masses was that we're going to be, why don't you come for a week? Why don't you come for a few days, try and make a holiday?
Make a trip out of it. I've been that soldier, yeah.
And a good 100 people figured Florence is a nice place to go on a summer holiday. Let's fucking bundle it. And a good 100 people must have done it. Now, I figured I'm going to make a holiday out of this. And I got out there super early. I mean, like 8 days beforehand.
Right.
Which was fucking lovely. I was a single bloke. I was strolling out. And Florence is fucking lovely. Now, I'm not much of a wine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not much of a wine drinker. But I did, of course, find a few decent watering holes. I found myself in places, but that you wouldn't normally. Like, I went off into session one evening and I know we're bringing up more fucking Oriental people, but they were a lovely Japanese couple. Neither one of us spoke any of each other's languages, but we still had a powerful evening of just kind of signing towards things. It was a great couple of days. And that's when the other wedding makers, wedding coers started arriving in, and that's when things started to get heavy. That's when things started to get heavy.
Because they had just arrived in.
And of course, fucking Billy Concierge here was meeting people. Literally, I made a pub. It wasn't an Irish pub. It was an Italian pub, but it just so happened to be a chap from Derry owned it. But he didn't want to go for that whole Irishy thing. He still kept it very Italian and whatnot. But he says, listen, you'll drink for free, which is a dangerous proposition to put to a man. If you bring them all to me, all them holiday makers, all those wedding goers, because the wedding wasn't until Saturday. I got in on Friday prior.
Right.
We're talking now. I had the weekend to sound the place out. Right. Having us up here, having us up there. Maybe go visit a site like the Duomo. My parents landed on. They were loving it. I was showing them around. I was nicely simmering now. I wasn't flaming.
What were you drinking, though?
Oh, things like I was drinking nice beers now. I was drinking Italian beers, like handy ones. I was above too fucking mad, and I was at my own pace, and it was nice. It was sunny outside. You go for it's just one of those cities where you could literally sit down and in every direction. Shit's good looking. You know what I mean? People are good looking. Good looking fucking walls, Jerry. Do you know what I mean? Like good looking fucking old walls. Like
you sit down across from a McDonald's and go like, yeah, they've really made that McDonald's nice.
Yeah, that's what. I got a pair of shoes made, Jerry. Like some sort of
shoes made.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Celtic Tiger, baby.
Yeah, you fucking know it for sure. Yeah, it was. They weren't even that expensive, but at this stage, I'm using like Italian.
A pair of handmade Italian shoes, Tom. Yeah, exactly.
They weren't. They weren't. I mean, what would that maybe? Yeah, but the guy made. All shoes. Right. Then all of a sudden, the gates of hell.
Good tubbin.
I'm simmering. We get to like Tuesday, Wednesday. And things are going grand, but there's the increase of people that are joining, going, fuck, I know we're all landing with, and the wedding's going to be a good few miles outside the city anyway at the weekend. That's grand. People are in hotels all over the place. We're all keep on meeting at this point, and it's getting more and more fucking fiery. The crack is going up levels. The crack never drops. When you're with a gang of people and you're with, the crack will drop after day 3, day 4. This was a new crop coming to me every single evening.
Right.
Every evening. And they're all going
fresh batch,
and your man's just slinging me out beer. People are fucking buying me shots. I'm like, this is fucking class. Every fucking night was fucking class. There was a cafe down the way that sold beer and wine as well. I'd bring lads down to that. And it was exactly old Italian fellas. They were putting on a fucking show, Jerry. They didn't speak to each other like this, but they were into each other's faces. I was showing them all the sights around the place. And then Big Owen landed in. And this is when things fucking turned.
Big Owen.
Also known as the Viking. Because how this lad got away with not actually getting some... I believe he does actually live in fucking Norway now. He's found his roots again. We're talking... Again, another monster friend. Owen arrived in...
What's his surname? Orsblood or some shit like that.
It's not actually. He's actually related.
I don't want to know his surname. I just thought
he's related to a former Taoiseach of Ireland, would you believe? And he has a similar surname. But Owen would stand there, and nobody. This is when we were going up a level. Now this is Thursday before the wedding.
You're getting bored of drinking at this stage, I'd say.
I kind of am, but the crack duck just keeps on fucking pulling me back in. You think you're out, then they pull you back in. I'm going, fuck it, no, lads, I have to go home early. You fucking walk home early down the fucking crack valley start. I'm going, you're fucking right, lads. The crack is only starting. But I really should go. Not the fucking bit of it. Tried not to go back to. I'm not to go. I'm neither chicken nor child at the time. Nobody was, no restrictions on me. I wasn't even spending money. The man was, I couldn't spend.
Because your man was wheeling you a drink.
Yeah. So now we get Owen lands in and the party kicks up because he'd said that he wasn't going to be able to make it. And he was good friends with my sister and her husband as well. So then all of a fucking sudden the crack goes up a fucking notch. And it's Thursday night is off the fucking Richter. We end up down this street and we're looking for a nightclub. Now, in the whole fucking time I was there, didn't have to look for nightclubs because there was late cafes everywhere. There was late bars everywhere. Didn't have to. He wanted a fucking nightclub. We were being told there was no nightclub until he stood out in front of a taxi. Now, we're talking about a man that literally stands out in a crowd. probably 6'5", 6'6", and
Jesus Christ.
built like a train, walking around fit at maybe 23 stone. Do you know? Fit, paused. This is how he drank 2 pints at a time. He drank 2 pints at a time because he couldn't be fucking keeping in with the fuckers only drinking one. Literally, he did. He drank. He stopped the taxi and went, nightclub. El fucking nightclub, or whatever the fuck. Discotheque. So man says, all right. Sits us in and literally drives us 500 yards. He took it the long way around, getting us 500 yards down the road. Went to this queer fucking hawk place, Jerry. I was creeped out inside. Like, this was no fucking nightclub, if you know what I mean. Nightclub. We had no business inside this place, if you know what I mean.
This is the Comet and Blaney.
This was even the fucking DJ looked at us 3 coming in the fucking door because another lad was on with us. Poisoners. Fucking poisoners. I woke up fucking glued to the bread Friday morning. I said, lads, I better get fucking freshened up here because we've the wedding tomorrow. We've the fucking wedding tomorrow out at a beautiful castle overlooking the Chianti Valley. I can't be the one fella walking around with a fucking head like a
right.
Yeah, I can't be. And I'm poisoned. Fucking 7 days on the fucking beer hard as you can fucking fit it into you. Fucking only eating beautiful pastries and some nice pasta in between, just about to keep some sustenance. When the phone call comes around fucking 12 o'clock. Hi. Now everybody's in for the wedding. Everybody. The fucking garden across the way from the bar we're drinking, it was allowing the lads out to sit outside in this fucking beautiful spot to drink. Lads, I think I'm still fucking I cannot sober up. But I'm a glutton for it. And the crack was nice. But I said I control myself. I was only drinking fucking bottles. Bottles by whole. Until we got to about fucking 4 o'clock when the beer kicked back in again. And I went at it, hammer and fucking tongs. I had to be carried back to the fucking hotel, by all accounts.
This is the night before the wedding.
The wedding. Woke up, cold shower. Stood in the cold shower, knowing brain kicked in. Time to fucking kick in, don't make a whole, you show yourself. The whole family's here, everybody's here, don't make it whole, show yourself. Half an hour. Freezing cold shower. I'm fucking grand. I'm grand. Do you know when you jump out of a fucking cold shower and your skin feels tight and you're like, fuck,
yeah, I
feel good. And that's exactly...
Like, a cold shower, Tom, like, if the science backs it up, the only way that a cold shower would make you less hungover is if you kept your fucking mouth open throughout and just drank as much of it as you could.
Oh, absolutely. But I am
like all you are right now is wide awake and hungover as you were. I
am no rocket doctor, Jerry McBride. I figured this will be fine. This will be fine. I felt good. I felt tight. The suit went on. I'm fucking going, this is class. We're all meeting down outside this big cathedral. We were to be all picked up and up the fucking road in the bus. Get in the bus. Of course, there's 1 or 2 little fucking tipples on the bus.
Of course.
So 2 or 3
buses. Wouldn't be a bus
if
it wasn't.
2 or 3 buses going up to this. Oh, you can. Then something happened to me that has never happened to me before. Now, I'm not drunk, but I'm definitely pickled like a fucking gherkin. Right,
I get you.
Pickled. And we're walking up to this beautiful fucking open fucking castle. It's ridiculous. Like something out of, you'd fucking cry on your TV show if this was going to be. You'd fucking bawl.
So this is where you go in Assassin's Creed to kill some fucker.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like.
Kill a fucking cardinal or something.
And I turned around to the brother and I says, "Why the fuck am I losing all the colour out of my sight?" He says, "You fucking what?" I says, "Everything's turning black and white." He goes, you fucking what now? He said, "Tom, we're about to fucking, the ceremony's going to be kicking off." I said, I think I'm going fucking blind. I'm genuinely... So we sit down by this fucking bench outside. Everybody else is passing. It's just, sit the fuck down there for 1 fucking second. You're going fucking blind. I said, well, everything, and genuinely in that moment, for a good minute and a half, colour started to drain out of everything I was seeing. I was going sepia to black and white. I was going back to 1950s television.
You're flicking through your filters.
Yeah, I'm on fucking Ludwig, and it's like, where the fuck is this going to end up?
How did I get it back to normal?
And I swear to God, the brother, thank fuck he was there. He was like, right, and younger than me, smarter, fucking wiser than me. He said, come on. And we walk into the open courtyard. Thank fuck. These lads were laying out all the tables. And your man was like, yeah. The brother was like, is that are those bottles of water you're leaving out? You know what? You would plates and bottles of water.
Yeah.
Get that into you as fucking hard as you can. Hard as you fucking can. And I'm literally, the light is fading now, Jerry. The light is fading. Everybody's sitting down. Music are playing. There's a woman on a fucking cello. It's unbelievable. But my sight is literally fading in the middle of the day in fucking Italy. And I'm going blind from the fucking drink. I guzzle this fucking bottle. It was like 2 liters of water. And I'm sitting there and going, well, what the fuck do you think is going to happen now? And then all of a sudden, the fucking colour starts to come back up again in my eyes. It was the most bizarre fucking thing I've ever... Now, was I in the fucking horrors for the next hour through the whole thing, just sitting going, I'm also thinking, I'm going to go blind again. I'm going to go blind again at some fucking stage. But thanks be to sweet fucking Jesus, I did not go fucking blind again later on that evening. But and to be fair, Jerry, a smart man would have gone handy and stayed on the water for the afternoon. But
no, you're already blind, Tom. Like, how much fucking blinder can you get?
I ain't a smart man, Jenny. I went as hard as I possibly could back on that fucking beer again. But I went on the wine and things worked out okay. I kept my eyesight.
Wine's medicinal, Tom.
But it also dawned on me, Jerry, that after when drinking that bottle of wine for 8 days solid, or drinking that bottle of water, that I actually, and you'd alluded to it in the shower, I didn't drink one drop of water in fucking 8 days. Everything was alcohol or espressos.
You hadn't drunk water in the form of water.
No. It don't rain in Florence during the summer, so it wasn't like I was going to get any of that. It was literally, I had not drank any water of any sort in fucking 8 days.
Jesus Christ, Tom.
So yeah,
Tom, I'm glad you didn't go blind.
Yeah.
But I would have fucking paid folding money to see your blind ass try to make it through a fucking prayer of the faithful.
To be fair, it was just a kind of a ceremony of sorts we had to have
because you with a sister's wedding and you're like the brother, you would have been like prime fucking, we have to get Tom to do something, prayer of the faithful, right?
Geez,
you know what you could have done in a situation like that,
God,
Tom? You couldn't read the fucking prayer of the faithful off the thing. Just make it up. No, just nobody else knows what it is. You could just go up and go, for everybody that has travelled a great distance to be here, may their engines of their plane safely get them home. Lord, hear us. Fuck off.
These weak arms are sweated, Mom spaghetti. I don't know what else has happened to you. So I went momentarily fucking blind for about 5 minutes. Yeah, on being on beer that fucking hard for the week. And thanks be to Jesus that we had water on hand. I don't know. In no way was it dawning on me that I was possibly quite thirsty. Now, it was 42 degrees that day, and I was sweating bullets, even as we were fucking,
It sounds to me, Tom, and I'm no doctor, and as we've said time and time again, the Tom and Jerry Show podcast is not one of those learning podcasts.
Oh, no, you ain't going to learn nothing.
It sounds to me like you were about to faint from dehydration.
Oh, yeah, because I've never, ever fainted before, so I don't know what fainting is about. So.
It's a lot like going blind temporarily.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you suddenly go blind and then you fall asleep.
All right, okay, so fainting is what it was. Okay, I never...
Oh, no, Tom, I'm not saying that's what it was. I'm saying that you probably were about to go blind and then faint.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I didn't. Yeah, didn't. It's fucking... I tucked it in, got it together, and fucking got back on the horse. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Tom.
That was one of my many very, very, very drunk moments.
Blind.
Literally blind. I drank myself fucking blind drunk. The man you see before you, touch for Hellraiser back. Well, no, I just liked to party. I wasn't a bad fucker. I just liked to party.
I've never drunk to the most I've injured myself now, and I don't think it warrants my drunkest I've ever been segment all into its own. But one time I went out and I got fucking hammered on the drunk, and I went to the taxi rank to get home, last fucking chopper out of Saigon, and there's a toilet in the back, and I says I have to use that, and I went in and I sat in it and I fell asleep. And I fell asleep with my elbow on my knee, like, and my head in my hands, just fell asleep, and I fell asleep for like 2 hours. They got me when they were fucking closing the place up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It goes, whoa, we missed one, and I was in there. But whatever way I'd lay on my arm, I'd pinched a nerve in my elbow, and it didn't come. It didn't come right again. It was asleep. My arm was asleep for like 6 months.
What?
Yeah, I had to do like fucking physical therapy and shit like this, and
From sitting on the jacks asleep. Well, by Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it was the hangover that lasted 6 months. But that's an elbow, Tom. My left elbow. I'm right-handed. I was going to be grand. You fucking went blind.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like a lot of things. You know, if you went there, like I went blind. I didn't go blind. I just went there for a while.
And you didn't stay blind.
Didn't stay blind. Came back. What was your, before we wrap up the full show, and that was, of course, my, you know, drunkest I've ever been. What was your you have a premonition, or you have a notion about drinking abroad and the difference between drinking abroad?
Drinking abroad. I mean, like, number one, it's you're on parade.
Yeah.
So you've got bravado on your side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything. Yeah. You got bigger nuts all day long. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Number two, it's like the second stomach that you get at Christmas.
Yes. Valid
you know,
point.
It's like, you know, it's like your body just realizes that it's in this sort of survival mode, and it's like, look, we got to do this. We got to do this. And it's also like the fucking novelty of it as well.
Yeah.
Like on any given day of the week, there's no way you'd have a fucking Aperol Spritz at 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's exactly.
But like you're on holidays, you're just like, fuck it, I'm on holidays. I'm going to be walking around. It's harder than I'm used to. Oh, you know, this will carry me through.
Let's make the most of it. Yeah.
Let's make the most of it. It's like, you know. There's no calories in dessert, Tom.
So before we ride off into the sunset, as we usually do every week, we do have a couple of bits that we need you to do. We need you to comment, share, like, subscribe, all the usual crack. We will, of course, have, for the end of the season, we will, of course, have our best comments. So you know the crack there. Comment on whatever platform you're able to comment on. If you're not able to comment on whatever platform you're listening to, just do a screen grab and write something nice. Tag us in it on Instagram, The Tom and Jerry Show. Same as Twitter. You'll find us very, very handy. Tag us. We'll find it.
Roar it out the window of a bus, Tom.
Strong possibility we'll even hear it that way too. Now, but before we do head away, we will be back, of course, again with another bonus episode, Jared. Isn't that right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I keep forgetting about these things. Oh, Tom, tell them who it is this week.
This week we have the absolute sultry tones of world-famous DJ Ricochet, everybody. He's telling us about his worst gig ever. So strap in, stay tuned. Nice little hello on a Thursday. Just if you're having a rough week, just know that other people have had rougher days out than you have. And we put it together in an episode of bonuses that we call My Worst Gig Ever. They've been enjoying these, and this one is going to be tasty too, Jer.
This one's deadly. This one's great, Tom. Other than that, hey, look at that. Another episode draws to a close.
Jer, let's say goodbye.
Go on, take care.